I proposed to Shayna at Disneyland on Christmas Eve. I knew exactly what ring she wanted. She had a picture of it in her room, so I got it at Cartier. It was a 4.5-carat diamond ring called the Luna that cost $150,000, so it would have been ideal to have an armored truck deliver it. But instead, I kept the ring in the pocket of my big puffy down jacket. All I could think about was that I might lose it, and that it would be such a fucking fail if I did. We rode all the rides we normally did, trying to make the afternoon normal. Then, when it got dark, we went to the Haunted Mansion. Every year, they redecorated for the holidays with a Nightmare Before Christmas theme, so it seemed like the perfect time and place to propose. Anytime we went to Disneyland, we had a special tour guide so we wouldn't get swarmed, and we can go on all the rides right away. That day, I told the guide, his name was Nick, that I wanted to be able to go on the Haunted Mansion ride solo with Shayna. So we went into the portrait gallery that turns into an elevator, and after the voice said, "Of course there's always my way," the lights went out with a clap of thunder. That was my time. While the lights were out, I got down on one knee. I hadn't lost the ring, and when the lights came on, I popped the question. She said yes, and then she got down on one knee and pulled out a ring of her own. We both had the same idea. We rode the rides for a couple more hours, and then we went home, got drunk, and had sex, like pretty much every night. The difference was, that very night Shayna started planning the wedding. Soon, she was filling up every day we spent together with wedding planning. It kept getting harder to leave behind Shayna, Landon, and Atiana when I went on tour with Blink-182. While I was away, Landon took his first steps. And then when I came home, Shayna brought him to the airport and he didn't recognize me. I went to hug him, and he just started crying. It killed me. When I was home, I just wanted to hang out with Landon, sewing patches on his clothes or giving him a mohawk with the little hair he had. And as soon as he could hold the drumsticks, I started teaching him to play the drums. But as much as I loved the idea of never leaving the little guy ever again, I had a job to do, and soon enough, I flew down to Australia for another Blink-182 tour. Leaving my family behind was the hardest it had ever been, and on top of the flight, to get through the heartache, I needed to take pills. I was still taking Vicodins by the handful, but while I was down there, I got some Oxycontin, which was even crazier. Sometimes little Chris and I took it together on our days off. We'd be hanging out on a couch in my hotel room getting blurry. When I took Oxycontin, it felt like my face was melting, and that I was poured into a flat puddle all over the couch. Little Chris was supposed to be looking after me when I did pills. I always used to say, "Dude, hit me if I don't wake up." Now that little Chris was doing them with me, he'd say, "Sure, you do the same thing for me, dude." And then we'd pass out together. So I paid Jake, one of our security guys with Blink, to sit up with us and make sure we were still breathing. Jake was sober, so his job was to hang out all night and make sure we didn't die. While we were in Australia, Blink filmed the video for Always, the 4th single off the Untitled album. The video was about all 3 of us dating the same girl, played by Sophie Monk. She was a singer and a model, and at the time, she was the it girl in Australia. In the treatment, I was the one who made out with Sophie. And Shayna was so pissed. "Why did they pick you?" she demanded. "I don't know, baby. That's how they wrote it. I got to kiss the girl, whatever." And of course, I wasn't mad about kissing Sophie. But I was a gentleman. I only kissed her when I was supposed to. It's weird kissing on a video. It's not the same when there's a bunch of people watching with cameras and lights, and somebody telling you, "Okay, put a little more into it." But even with all that, it was fun. We could have hung out afterward, but I bowed out. I was getting married. I got home from Australia after a 19-hour plane ride, out of my mind on pills, totally Xanaxed out. It was November 14th, 2004, my 29th birthday. Shayna picked me up at LAX and said she was taking me out to dinner, which was cool.